Almost everybody you come across knows that flashing lights can trigger seizures. So strong is this understanding that some would argue with the neurologist that, as their events are never brought on by flashing lights, they couldn't possibly have epilepsy. Neurologists themselves have also helped to entrench the idea that there is a strong relationship between seizures and flashing lights. After all, they are the ones who refer their patients for an EEG during which strong strobe lights are flashed at the disconcerted patient. Although flashing lights can trigger so-called photosensitive seizures, it is important to know that this is not the case with most patients with epilepsy. And perhaps more crucially, it is important to know that there are many other phenomena that can trigger seizures apart from light. The most important, of course, are such things as poor sleep, alcohol, abused drugs, medications, infections, and particularly not adhering to anti-epilepsy treatments. But today's podcast will explore peculiar and sometimes even counterintuitive seizure triggers. So let's count down 10 regular everyday things that can trigger seizures. Number 1, these are physiological body functions. It is surprising the number of normal and essential daily activities and habits that we carry out can, when the tide changes, become life-threatening. And this is the case with seizures that can be set off by such activities as chewing, eating specific foods such as greasy pork, smelling, urinating, defecating, and even having an orgasm. What a downer. Number 2 is reading. Reading is such a nuisance trigger for seizures that there is even a form of epilepsy called reading epilepsy. And to make matters more intriguing, there is even a font-specific reading-induced epilepsy. This, however, shouldn't discourage you from reading. This is a rare form of epilepsy. Number 3, writing. It sounds ridiculous, but yes, some seizures are triggered by good old penmanship. And in on the game as well is drawing. And perhaps you are thinking you will bypass writing and just give a speech. Well, sorry to say, some seizures are also triggered by oration. Some seizures are simply out against freedom of expression. Number 4, patterns. Pattern-sensitive epilepsy comes in quite a few disguises. Disturbingly, the patterns that can trigger seizures can be found on window screens, ceiling tiles, tablecloths, and even ordinary clothing. And guess where the most frequent seizure-provoking patterns are? Yes, the good old friendly television. So watch at your peril. Number 5 are movements. The types of body movements that can trigger seizures is just mind-boggling, or should that be body-boggling? These include simply walking, moving any limb, exercising, shadow boxing, and, wait for it, waving the hands in front of the sun. This is curiously called the sunflower syndrome. Number 6, thinking. A wide range of brain activities can bring on seizures. These come under the remit of thinking or cognitive-induced seizures. And the mental activities that can set seizures off include doing arithmetic calculations and problem solving. And in some cases, it is thinking about a specific thing that brings on the seizures. And of all things, thinking about toothbrushes must come on the top of the list. You simply can't make it up. Number 7, touch. This must surely be the most inhuman of seizure triggers, one that sets out to banish all human physical contact. Apart from ordinary touch, seizures can be triggered by stimulating the skin, tapping on the skin, and for the poor baby, changing diapers. Number 8, contact with water. Of all the things that can trigger seizures, this surely takes the cake in its threat to human hygiene. And seizures that can be provoked by water can either be bathing in hot water, and exiting from water. And for the neuro nerds out there, bathing epilepsy has been linked to mutations in the SYN1 gene. Number 9, playing games. You would think playing chess and even Lego are good old benign board games. Not for people in whom playing these board games turn out to be game changers. Pun intended. Both have been fingered as potential seizure triggers. And cashing in on the game is playing mahjong. So choose your board games very carefully. And we come to number 10, which is music. It is perhaps common knowledge now that some forms of music can calm down seizures. And tops here is Mozart's Sonata for 2 pianos in D major, called K448. For other people, however, music is a threat, a nuisance that can trigger their little gray cells to initiate seizure discharges. And these tend to be people who already have high levels of musicality in the first place. And the trigger for the seizures may just be a specific piece of the music or just a part of it. And to make sure there is no escape, listening, playing, and even dreaming of music can spark things off. So choose your music carefully. Thank you very much for listening or watching this podcast. If you found it enlightening, don't forget to click on the like button. And why not check out my book, Surfing the Brain, where I explore this and other topics in a light-hearted manner. And for the harder stuff, check out my neurology database called Neuro Checklist. And to make sure you don't miss the next episode of the podcast, why not subscribe to the YouTube, Apple, or Spotify channels. Thank you very much for listening or watching.